All right, so you've asked the question, how do I play Cyberpunk? I'm going to show you exactly where you need to start and also some better options when you're really trying to get into it and you're starting to see you're overwhelming yourself. So right off the bat, hi, I'm Rob, you can call me Dice. I work for Art House Saurian Games. We're the ones who make Cyberpunk and all that jazz. And I've been now working for about 2 years with them. I have actually had my hand in making a few things too, which, trust me, as someone who loved the actual game before I started working for them, it was very surreal. So when it comes to my opinions, yes, I'm going to be biased towards Cyberpunk. I'm going to warn you now, but I'm at least going to tell you outright what will or won't work for your game. So, first things first, there are 4 main ways to get into Cyberpunk. You have the core rulebook itself, you have the Cyberpunk Edgerunner's mission kit, you have the Jumpstart kit, and you have what's called Cyberpunk Red Easy Mode. Now, if you go into any Cyberpunk space and you ask, how do I start? 9 times out of 10, you're going to be hit with this. Almost dropped it, by the way. This is Cyberpunk Red Easy Mode. We give it away for free at conventions printed. It's a free download. You can get it either through DriveThruRPG or you can get it straight from our own website. And it is a good way to get people to have a taste of the game. It has very, very slimmed down rules, abridged to basically be quick read, sit down, play in one session with your friends. It even has a little mission in the back of it, which is called Getting Paid. And to be fair, and I'm going to contradict myself here, this was actually a way I started one of my favorite campaigns. I brought a bunch of my friends in who were from, the 5th edition groups, and they're like, all right, we'll give it a shot. We turned easy mode into a 6-month-long campaign because for every single one of the dirty cops they didn't take down, if they escaped, they became ongoing problems, and eventually it turned into my players having to hunt down these cops to prevent them from smearing their name further and to putting more and more of the NCPD against them. So they actually had to have a very, very rough time getting to them. And then I learned the hard way that grenades should not have rate of fire 2, no matter how much you think it makes sense. My final boss battle was hell. That's all I'm going to say. They completely annihilated it from the top of a roof, and they were just dropping pineapples. It was a great time. I was crying on the inside, but I digress. You can get some mileage out of it, but when it comes to actually playing the game any further than that, you're going to need the core rulebook. And that also goes into the next thing here I want to talk about, which is the Cyberpunk Edgerunner's mission kit. Whenever I started working for Artal, this was the first thing to ever have my name in it, which is wild because, 4 years ago now, I got to announce just on here in general that it was coming out. I never expected to be able to work on it. That was a huge fanboy moment. Still proud of that one. Now, when it comes to the mission kit, it, just like easy mode, is abridged. It is slimmed down to be able to play just the adventure in it, which is called the jacket. Now, when we released the mission kit, there was some confusion because veteran players went through it and they saw the absence of certain things and a couple roles and they go, oh, they just now deleted them from the game. They no longer exist. Why did they do this? We had to really hammer it home that the reason why is because this is an intro for new players so that they can just hop in and play without having to memorize everything. Like, even in the character sheets, you will see a slimmed down version of a role ability, and it's just that for the entire adventure. Whereas in the core rulebook, you have 10 different ranks. I mean, it's huge. There's also slimmed down critical injuries in there. I digress before I start going into it. We kept it simple. And the point of that is because we wanted it to be easy for new players to get into. So this is a good way to get in, but you do need the core rulebook to get the full scope of the rules once more. So when it comes to easy mode versus the mission kit, I'm going to point you to the mission kit just because you do get more out of it. Thing is, though, you have to keep in mind, a lot of the mission kit also has places where it's a little loosey-goosey. That's on purpose. We want GMs to have freedom. We don't want you to feel so hyper-constrained by canon and rules as written that you completely stifle your own creativity. Don't do that. So many people do that. Please don't. I'm begging you that. You do need to use what's the term of it? There is a conversion guide in there for actually playing Cyberpunk Red games in the 2077 setting. And even with that, you have to make some personal GM calls. No person knows their table better than the GM. You know your friends. You know what they're going to try to do. You know what'll fit your table in making it go. Don't be afraid to make your own calls. So whenever you're playing with the mission kit, again, the core rulebook's the way to go. Now, noticing the pattern here, I'm just keeping pointing to one specific thing other than the other stuff. Yeah, it's about to happen again because now I want to talk about something I can't hold up for you. That's the Cyberpunk Red Jumpstart Kit. Do not use that to start your entire time playing in Cyberpunk. Do not do that. And the reason why I'm saying that outright is it's the beta rules. This thing actually has a pretty fun adventure in it. Seth Skorkowski did a great video on it. I'll actually link it down to the doobly-doo, which, by the way, yes, I say that too. I'm a big Matt Colville fan. The guy taught me so much about GMing. Either way, it has a great adventure in it called The Apartment. That is mostly what people pick it up for nowadays. But there's also rules in it that you do not see in the current game. Don't be afraid, though, to give it a shot. But out of the 4 things, that is the one I least recommend to start with. Then we come down to the Core Rulebook, which in and of itself, it does have some people who don't like the organization of it, but when you take a look back at the 2020 books and see how they were written, where you would find rules themselves embedded into lore, it can get a little bit back and forth. But when you realize the Core Rulebook is actually made to have shortened versions, brief versions in the front, and in the back is the more deeper, detailed stuff, it gets easier to navigate back and forth. But all in all, every single thing here points you to go into the Core Rulebook to start. You just need one book to play. You don't need the mission kit. You don't need easy mode. If you wanted to convince your friends, easy mode's a good way, but in the end, just getting the Core Rulebook is all you really need. You do not need anything else to really play Cyberpunk. Now, that's because while we do have Black Chrome and we do have Danger Gal Dossier, which Black Chrome is the weapons and gear guide, Danger Gal Dossier is the NPCs, gangs, and things like that guide, you don't need them to run your games. You just need one book, and that is it. You can pick it up over on DriveThruRPG. You can pick it up physically through our website, rtalstoriangames.com. That is really it. And the reason why I say one book, I mean it. When you're starting this, do not overwhelm yourself. The biggest thing that breaks my heart is I see new players coming into Cyberpunk. They ask the question, hey, I want to start. And they do. We have a very friendly community who always tries to give people everything they need to learn. But unfortunately, people get overloaded very, very fast when learning a new game. So my suggestion, when you start Cyberpunk, get the Core Rulebook, don't read anything else. Don't look at any 2020 material. Don't look at DLCs. We'll get into that in another video. And if you do have the mission kit or easy mode, that's it, okay? Don't overwhelm yourself because you're going to start trying to learn everything you can when the game itself is simple. It's 1d10 plus a stat plus a skill. There's 90% of the game done. Just use the exact stuff you need to run the game for your players for your first game. Do not overload yourself. You will get into the habit of always thinking you need to learn more, and you're never going to get to your first session. Don't do that. Please, I beg you. It's a mistake even I've made when trying to prep games. And now here I am. I have 2 games this weekend. I have my usual game as well. And the reason why they work is just because I like to follow Stan Lee's rule of writing. You know, who wins in a fight, Hulk or Wolverine? It's whoever the writer needs to. You're the writer. You're the one sharing a game with your friends. Feed off of what's in the life path system. Build a game around your friends. And don't worry about the universe. I'm going to get into not caring about canon and rules in a future video. Don't worry. But I'm going to keep this one brief. It's good to be back. And yeah, the joke isn't lost on me that in the time I made the last video to this one, I grew out my mohawk again. And I grew a full beard and shaved it off too.